I watched this video. It was body cam footage of a paraplegic being arrested for kicking in somebody's door. Mind you, he's paralyzed from the waist down. He's in a wheelchair. Apparently, some woman who is like, she's got mental health issues. Police reported to the scene for somebody being attacked. She said, somebody kicked in the door. Her ex-boyfriend kicked in the door, beat her up, and ran off on foot. Okay. So police, she gives a description, she gives a name, and police track down this guy. They show her the picture. She says, yeah, that's him. And so they start calling the guy. And they're like, hey, you need to come into the sheriff's office because we need to clear something up. We just need your signature and then you can go home. So this guy has no idea what's going on, shows up, and they see he's in a wheelchair. They see he's got no muscle mass in his legs. They put handcuffs on him, and they ask him, even when he's in the wheelchair, they ask him, they say, how long have you been paralyzed for? He's like, 25 years. 25 years. And apparently this was just like a few months ago. This woman had, her door kicked in, and they tell him, well, somebody said that you kicked in their door. And he's like, how am I kicking in their door? Like, where's the kicking happening? I can't move these things. They slap the handcuffs on him. They drag him out of the wheelchair. And another officer comes in and is like, whoa, what's happening here? Like, what's the crime? What's happened? They say he kicked in a door. This guy's not kicking in anything. So he goes to the lieutenant. He tells the lieutenant the story. The lieutenant's like, it's a ruse. He's just, pretending so he can get out of going to jail. And the guy's like, it's not pretend. But the officer who's arresting him, he's like, I don't know anything about that. He's the same officer that took the statement from the crazy woman. They never looked into the crazy woman. The guy's telling him, look, I can prove I've been a paraplegic for the last 25 years. I've not known this woman. I'm married. I have my own family. There's no possible way. They don't care. They call like a paramedic to basically transport him to the jail cell. And when the paramedic gets there, the paramedic kind of sees the situation and says, I'm going to let you go home, get some stuff so you're prepared. And in that time that he goes home, he calls a lawyer, and this lawyer is like, gets him basically out of having to go to jail, having to appear in jail. I'm telling you all this because there was a civil rights lawyer who was breaking this down and going, this is likely not going to end up in a lawsuit, because the threshold for a lawsuit, like, yeah, those officers were incompetent, but the threshold for incompetence has to be it's really, really high. Like, you could be super incompetent. That's expected with police. There's some incompetence expected. So, and it's acceptable. So for a judge to even look at it, it's got to be like, oh, you did some really, really bad stuff. That wasn't bad enough, apparently. So I'm just saying, okay, consider that with AI. Consider that in the age of AI, where kids now are scoring worse than they have in, previous generations as far as cognitive results. So they're showing kids are getting dumber, and with AI, they're going to continue getting dumber. And then there's going to be some AI out there that's like, oh, arrest this person. And then it's going to be some dumb police officer who didn't learn anything in school. And I'm not trying to call police officers dumb. I'm just saying the kids of the future will be adults of the future, will be dumb in the future. They're dumb now. They're going to be dumb then too. And they're going to do things that, like, just common sense would tell you, hey, that doesn't make any sense. It's not possible. Like, this shouldn't be happening. But because the AI said it, it'll be like, well, you're going to jail. Something to consider for the future and the future of your children. I mean, like, we have to gather together and make sure our children are actually learning rather than just letting the system do what it's doing. Because if you just continue going on with the system, it's going to end up in a very bad place.